Hello everyone. So in this video, I am going to explain how to migrate a database from on-premise SQL Server to Azure SQL database. Okay, so we have a two method. First is Azure Data Studio. Okay, so I will explain this first method, and in the next video, I will explain another method. The first method, Azure Data Studio. So we must have a Azure Data Studio installed in our system, and in Azure Data Studio, we must have one more thing. 1 minute. Azure SQL migration extension installed. Okay. So here I have a Azure SQL migration installed. If you don't have a install, then go to the extension and search this and install this Azure SQL migration. Okay. So this is the first requirement to migrate. Then next we must have a source connection, means SQL server, like in my source we have a SQL server, so we must have a username password, or if we are authenticating using a window authentication, then we must have a that password also. Okay. Now in the destination we must have a again connection of destination like username and password. Second thing, we must have a data migration service on Azure. So like I am going to migrate to my Microsoft Azure on Azure SQL database, then we must have a Azure migration service. Like we must have to choose Azure migration service. So this is the migration service that I created. Okay. So if you don't have, then you need to create Azure migration database migration service. How to create? It's a very simple. Azure database migration service. Azure database migration service. Okay. So we need to create this service. I already have one, so I don't need to create. But if you don't have, just click on plus. It is creating, so it takes some time due to network connectivity issue. We can see it is creating. Yes. So now we need to choose what kind of source we have for the migration and what kind of target we have for the migration. Okay. Whether we have a SQL database or managed instance or virtual machine. Okay. So if we create for a SQL database, then we cannot use for other two. So while creating this migration service, we must have to be ready with our source type and our target type. Okay. We can see what kind of source we have, then what kind of target we have. So based on the source and target, we do create our migration service. Okay. Now database migration service. Okay. After that, let's select this. It is moving to the next step. Sorry. We need to choose subscription, then resource group. Okay. Then location, and then we need to provide a migration service name. Okay. So it is loading. We can location is loading. We need to wait for some time. Yeah, loaded. So I'm going to choose India location. Let's go with Southeast Asia. Okay. Now next, and then next is review and create. So I don't need to create because I already have one for Azure SQL database. So I am going to use that one. Okay. After creating a migration service, this migration service must be registered in the subscription. So for that, we need to click on subscription. Okay, click on subscription. In the subscription, go to the resource provider. So in the resource provider, we must need to register the migration service. Yeah, for me it is already registered, but if you don't have this registered, then you need to click here and in three dot, and you will get option to register. I already have this registered, so I am getting re-registered or unregistered. Okay, so migration service should be registered in subscription. So till here it's done. Now the last requirement, we must have self-hosted integration runtime installed in our system where our on-premise SQL server is there. Okay, so self-hosted integration runtime must be on the system where we have on-premise server. If we don't have, you need to download. Okay, now how to download? Just go to the Google and search download and install this one. So I already have a downloaded, so I'm not going to download. So simply you need to download. Okay, and after download you need to install this in our system. Okay, so step is very simple. It is similar to any kind of software that we download in our system. Okay, sorry, I already have downloaded, so I am not going to download this. Now after downloading this self-hosted integration runtime, we can start migration. Okay, so open the Azure Studio. Okay, then go to the connection. Let me delete this first. Okay, now I'm going to start from scratch. Okay, server, click on connect. Okay, Microsoft SQL Server. So I opened my Azure Data Studio and now I am going to connect. Okay, so let me open my on-premise server. So this is my server. I am just taking my server name. Okay, provided the server name. So we can go with any authentication type, either with SQL login, window authentication, or Microsoft Entra ID. So here I am using SQL login. If we use window authentication, then we must remember that window password. Okay, if we using SQL login, then we must know username and password of SQL login. Okay, SQL login, for me username is Sonu and password I won't tell. Okay, now database, leave it blank, we will choose later. Let's connect this. Enable trust certificate. So I am able to connect. This green sign is saying I have already connected to my on-premise SQL server. Okay, this is my Azure SQL migration wizard. Here I need to click, and then we have an option to new migration. Okay, before starting a migration, I must. So this is my source one. Okay, I connected to source. Now I must know my target database and username and password of target database. Okay, come to the Azure. Okay, so this is the database that I created and I used. But now for this, I am going to create one new Azure SQL database. Okay, and I already have a SQL server, so I can reuse this server, or we can create a new server. Okay, so click on Azure SQL. If it is not showing, we need to search here. Click on plus create. It is creating. Okay, now before choosing a target, we can assess our source SQL server, or can say source database. Like which option we should choose. We have a three options: SQL database, SQL managed instance, and SQL virtual machine. So which will be compatible for our source server, or can say source server database. So to assess here, click on new migration. start new session. We connected to source server. Okay. Now database for assessment is being ready. So based on that, we have to choose which SQL database, like which one we have to select in this three, either SQL database or managed instance or virtual machine. Okay. So let's see the assessment. Uh, Next. Yeah. Please select. Okay. We need to select either we can select all these three or we can go with anyone. Okay. So first time I'm going with anyone because I need to migrate only this database. Okay. Now go to the next. We will see the assessment. Assessment is in progress. So in the assessment, we can see now recommendation is not available. To see the recommendation, we need to click on start data collection. Okay. So it takes when I click on start data collection, it takes 10 minutes to collect the data of our source SQL server. Based on that, it provides a recommendation for all kind of SQL database that is available in Azure. Okay. But if we don't want to wait, okay, let's start here, no problem. Then recommendation is started. Let's select a default path. Okay. Now performance data collection is started. We can see data collection is in progress. But instead of waiting, we can see here migration readiness ready. We can migrate. Okay. No need to review, need review 0, not ready 0, blocker 0, warning 0. So we don't have any warning for this. If we choose our target as a SQL manage instance, then also it is ready. We can choose this one also. We don't have any review. It is also not ready is 0, blocker is 0, warning is 0. So ready 1. So we chosen one database and that is ready to migrate in any of this. Okay. There is a no need to review. In not ready, we don't have anything. We don't have any blocker. We have a 0 warning. So we can easily choose any of these three. Okay. We have no problem. We can choose any of these three target without any problem. Now after before choosing this any three, we can also think about our price, scalability, this kind of things. So for that, we need to click on show details, so we can see the feature of all the databases. Like we need to think about size also, everything is available. So based on this, we can pick. Okay. But come here, go to the previous. Now let's think we need to migrate this database. Now again, let's see the assessment. Assessment is in progress for another database. So we can see now here we have a one blocker in when we choose Azure SQL database for the new for the another database that I selected, name was YouTube. So here if I choose Azure SQL database, we have one blocker, and in not ready one, it means this database is not ready to migrate on Azure SQL database. But if we see the another option, Azure SQL managed instance, it is ready. We don't have any blocker. We don't have anything in not ready. Even we can go with SQL server on Azure virtual machine. It is ready. We don't have any blocker. We don't have anything in warning. We don't have anything in needs review and in not ready. Okay. So if we have to migrate a YouTube database, then we should not use this one. Okay. But if we need a more recommendation, already data collection is in progress for the previous one. Okay. Now go to the previous. Now let's select all three. Okay. So our requirement is to move all the database to Azure SQL database. Now click on next. Assessment is in progress, so let's wait for few seconds. So now we can see here in my Azure SQL database, only one database is ready to migrate, and for other two database, like we had a three database in my source, one is ready and two is not ready. We have a blocker for two database. If we choose this option, if we choose this option, then we don't have any blocker. In not ready, we don't have anything. All are ready to migrate. Okay, and if we choose a SQL server on Azure virtual machine, we have a same. All are ready to migrate. We don't have any blockers. Okay. If we need a more recommendation, data collection is in progress. We need to wait. Okay. After deciding which one we have to choose, so here either we can go with this or we can go with this, because in these two we don't have any blocker. Now out of these two, which one we should use? For that, come here and see the details. Okay, so we can see the benefit. So if we choose this one, what are the things we'll get? If we choose this one, what are the things we'll get? So based on our requirement, we can, based on our requirement and based on our cost, okay, based on our how much we can spend, we can choose anyone out of these two. Okay, but here my requirement is very simple. I just need to use this one. Now for this one, I don't have any blockers. So here I don't have any blockers. Okay. Now it means I can choose any of these three. So if I come here, sorry, if I come here, uh, I think this is more cost effective than other two, and I believe this for I for me I don't have many things. Okay, it's a very small database, just for practice or test purpose. It is not for any industrial or standard purpose. So I am going to use a single database. Okay, Azure SQL database. Let's click on create. It is now Azure is creating a target database for me. So what will I do? I will migrate my source Azure Adventure database to this target database. Now here we need to give a database name, add venture. Hold on, 1 minute. Add venture. Okay, server Central India. See, server I already chosen migration test center. Okay, even we can create a new server. Okay, migration test is one is my server name and Central India is the location. Want to use elastic pool? No. Workload development. Okay, because this is for practice or test purpose, so it is not for production. Now I am going to use locally redundant backup storage. Okay, so this one we need to choose based on the requirement. Okay, now next is the networking part. Add current IP address. Yes, I want to add a current IP address. Now go to the next security part. Next additional setting. Backup is not required now. Next tag. Okay, let's review and create. Okay, so it is showing this would be my estimated cost, storage cost this much. Okay, so hold on, again I am going to the basic. Oh, 1 minute. Just hold on. Again, I'm going to create this one. I made some mistake. Before doing this, 1 minute, I want to drop my first database. That is, this is the existing one. I want to remove this. Sorry, I'm removing a server. Let me stop this. This is my database. Okay, I want to remove this because if I keep a multiple database, I will have to pay for that. Okay, so I'm going to remove my existing one. Enter, delete. So delete is in progress. If we keep multiple, we need to pay for that. Okay, so this is just for learning purpose. So we should not waste money. Now I am clicking on create, and after assessment, I know I have to create this one. Okay. Uh, Subscription already chosen. This is I chosen my subscription, and my sorry, it's not working. Hold on. So want to try Azure SQL database for free? Create a free serverless database with first 100,000 a week or and 32 GB of data. So let's apply offer. Okay. So for me, this is an offer. Okay. First 32 GB will be free. So now I don't need to pay any cost. Okay. So why I removed my first one? Because when I did not remove my first one and I was creating a new one, I was not getting this offer. So I removed my older one. Now I am creating a new one. So I don't need to pay anything till 32 GB and 100,000 core. Okay. Now let's come here, give a database name, adventure test. Okay. Now auto pause the database until next month. Okay, when the free offer limit is reached, we will it will be auto pause. Okay, we won't pay any charge. Now next, go to the networking, click next. Okay, again click next, next, next. Here we don't need to pay anything, and next month when our offer will be expired, or it will be auto pause. Okay, now click on create. So we can see the database will be paused automatically when the free limits are reached. So we don't need to pay anything when the free limits are reached. It will be auto pause. So deployment is in progress. So let's wait for some second. Deployment is in progress. And in this, I chosen this server. So if you don't have a server, then you need to create one server. So while creating a database also, you will get option to either choose existing server or create a new server. Okay, so while creating a server, I had a login, password and username. So when you create a new server, you will get means you will have to assign some login name and password. Okay, so I'm going to use login name and password of this server while migration. So deployment is in progress. We need to wait for a few second or minute. So deployment succeeded. Okay. So we have a database. Okay. Now let's come to the migration. Click next, select target type. So we created this Azure SQL database. Okay. Uh, Now go to the next. We need to provide a target configuration now. So automatically it is taking. If not, then we need to provide, because my system is configured with Azure. Okay. So connected with Azure SQL database server migration test one. So here we had, let's go to the resource first. We will see the server name again. It is loading. So this is my server name, and this is resource group, this is location, and username while creating a server I provided, and password also that time I already provided. Okay. So this is my server name. Okay. Migration test one. Okay. So come here. When you create a server, you will have a username and password. So I'm not going to share this one. Let's connect. Okay. Just clicked on connect. Now we are trying to connect to target database. It takes some time to connect because I'm trying to connect through my system to from my system to Azure. Okay. Connection was successful. Okay. Now let's click on our target database adventure test. Okay. This is the target database we created. Click on next. Now here we need to choose Azure Database Migration Service. That I already explained how to create Azure Database Migration Service, and then we need to register this migration service to the to subscription. So I already showed how to register migration service to subscription. Okay, we need to open the subscription, then we need to go to the resource provider, and then we need to find this migration service, and then we need to register this migration service to a resource provider, or can say inside the resource provider. Okay, so everything is fine. Now integration runtime is already configured, so we must have to install self-hosted integration runtime. So we can see Azure Database Migration Service migration test is connected to self-hosted integration runtime because I already installed this. Okay. So if you don't have an install, you need to install. Okay. Because that self-hosted integration runtime must be connected with this migration test. Okay. And we don't need to do anything. When we install a self-hosted integration runtime and when we use Azure Data Studio, automatically it will connect. Okay. Let's go to the next. Now data source configuration. Okay. So in starting, while connecting to the source, I use SQL Server login and password. So here I need to provide a SQL Server login and password. Okay. If we use a window authentication, then here we need to provide a window password. Okay. So let's click on select table. It is loading table, so it takes some time. We need to have patience. Zero tables on source database found on to migrate data in the table. Select the migrate schema above. Migrate schema to target. Okay. Uh, yeah, so no schema was found on target. That's why we have to select migrate schema. So what will happen? First, it will migrate the schema, then it will migrate the tables. Now, let's select all, update this. Okay. So we selected 31 table. It means we are going to migrate 31 tables. Okay. And also we are migrating schema. So first schema migration will happen, then our table. Now let's click on next. Okay, validation has not been run for the, please, okay, let's run the validation then. So if we don't get any error in the validation, then only we can start migration. So integration runtime connectivity succeeded. Now it is trying to connect to source database. Then finally it will try to connect to target database. So if all are fine, then we can move to the next step. So it is validated for the source connectivity. Now validating for target. Succeeded. Okay. Now click on done. We can move to the next step. Okay. Now we can start migration. So migration already started. It is started. Okay. So earlier I migrated a YouTube database. So it was succeeded. Okay. Successfully migrated. Now again migration is started. We can see the status. It is creating now. We can refresh, but let's wait. Refresh is happening. Okay. Meanwhile, we can come to our target. So this is my target database. All the source table of database will migrate here. Let's come to the query editor. We can see tables, or we have a two option. We can choose any one, either SQL Server or Microsoft Intra Authentication. Okay, so migration is going on. So till now, none of the table has been migrated. So it is still in progress. So when the any of the table gets migrated, we can see here. Okay. Or if any view gets migrated, we can see here. It's still in progress. So in the next video, I will explain you how to migrate using Azure portal. So in this, I am explaining through Azure Data Studio. Sorry. So it takes time. We need to wait. Now it is in progress. Okay, after creating, it is in progress. So we can see the status got changed. Let's refresh here. We'll see whether we got any table or not. No. Still no. It is in progress. So when the table will be migrated, like if we see any table here, we can run the query. It takes some time. We need to have bit patience because first it has to migrate schema then table. It is taking little bit long time. Actually, last time when I migrated this YouTube database, it had only three table with very small size, so it took a very less time. Like we can see, it took only duration 11 minutes. Okay, it means this will take a very long time. Okay, because I had only three table with very less data, it took 11 minutes. But here we have 31 table. Okay, so. Mm, I just want to see at least single table. Okay. Yes, we can see the migration started. Okay. So we can see the table. We can see table here. Okay. Now let's test the data. Select the star from dim date. Okay. I want to check the count. Count zero. Why? Let's verify here. Select the star from dim date. It has 3652. But it is not showing. Let's rerun. Maybe still migration is in progress, so maybe table created, so data will move. We must have some patience. Let's check for our dim employee. It it will take time. I know there is something wrong because mm, without data it took 11 minutes. So in this database we have a data, so it should take time. Sorry. No, we need to wait some more time. Okay, it will show data also. Let's see again. We can see it got succeeded. Actually, I paused the video and it took 32.8 minutes. Okay, now let's verify the data. I'm sorry. So we'll see 36524 dim date. Now come here and see 36524 dim date. Okay, count of dim date 3652. So we can see we have successfully migrated our all the table of adventure work to Azure SQL database. Thank you.